Hello and welcome to GTO Coach and Go. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey. I want to thank you for joining us once again today. Also, I wanted to let you know, if you've not done so yet, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, if you ring the bell, you'll be notified anytime we have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey, and make sure to like our Group Travel Odyssey Facebook page as well. Well, today we've got a very special Coach and Go. We're going to be bringing on actually the majority of our team, and let me start doing that. We're going to talk about some of our favorites, some of the game changers in GTO. And in order to do that, let's bring on Sierra. Let's see, there's Sierra, there's Kara, there's Keith, there's Christina, and last but certainly not least, there's Corey. So welcome to all of you and another wonderful episode of GTO Coach and Go. So, we've been talking about a lot of the things that have been happening over this past year, also since the inception, basically, of GTO, and where we've come, some of the features that have been created in the system that really are kind of game changers with what we have to offer and what we have that kind of creates a much more efficient work environment for our members. So we're going to talk about some of those today. And I thought we would kick things off with Christina. Christina, what would you say is one of your favorites, if not the favorite feature that we have in GTO?
Oh, it was so hard to pick one, Jim. We've had so many amazing things that we've had happen this year in GTO, a lot of great developments. Just a quick shout out to these great integrations that we've had happen this year with WeTravel, Quiller, and Fly My Group. If you aren't using those, definitely contact us about using those. But the one that I think is a really big game changer is the audits feature in group accounting. I know that a lot of people use that to compare throughout their trip of how they're doing with those budgeted versus booked versus paid counts on their trip, and you can use that audit feature right on your trip page in group accounting. There's a button that says Review Trip Audit, and it will bring you to a page to show you all of those comparisons, and you can use that along the way and at the end.
That's fantastic. And the thing is, all of the things that we are discussing today, we've actually done Coach and Goes on. So if you want more information on any of this information, please, again, go to that YouTube channel and you will find the archive of all of our past Coach and Goes, and you can look up the one about the audit feature. It is something that I know had been worked on for quite some time. We've had a lot of our member companies ask for it. And this is it's a wonderful way for them to very quickly get a P&L after a trip happens and all the records are done. You recorded everything that you need to record in GTO. Hit that audit button. That's fantastic.
Jim, I'll tell you, after I've been looking at profit loss statements for a lot of years, and I call that feature the profit loss statement on steroids, because Christina really knocked it out of the park. Like, it has every piece of information you need on it. It is it's more than a snapshot, if you ask me. It's like a full-blown family photo of the trip.
That it is.
And, that's something that maybe not a lot of our members realize, is that Corey and Christina and Keith and Sierra and Kara, the entire team works together to put these features together. So that audit feature is Christina. Christina has gone through and created a lot of the information that you need. And so we do take the feedback and everything. And then the team that you see on the screen works very diligently to make sure that you have all of this information that you need. So kudos to all of you for all of the hard work this past year too. That's really fantastic. So, well, Kara, let's bring you up next, one of our newer members of the team. So, Kara, what would you say is your favorite feature in GTO?
I'm going to piggyback Christina as well and just say there was a few things that really stuck out to me, but my favorite, and I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store anytime I show it on a demo, is the supplier manager, where you can actually map out. It's almost like a supplier Google Maps of different activities, hotels, restaurants, all those types of things. So if you're trying to plan a trip and let's say you have everybody that you want to keep in within walking distance, you can go into Supplier Manager and map out that area and kind of pick where you want them to go. If it's a new destination that you're traveling to and you're not exactly sure what vendors to use, you can go in here and look up that city, and see just a snapshot of what's available in that area, which I think is great on it from a tour operator standpoint.
And
so that was my favorite.
And one of the things that I've done is I've got it up on the screen now, and I pulled up Cleveland, Ohio dining, and so all of the dining establishments, group dining establishments that are listed in our system are pulled up here for you. And if you hover over any of these points, it gives you the name and some information about it. You can also then get directions. You can also view the record in our system. So this is a really great way for you, like Kara was saying, to actually search for information that you may need just to kind of help you out building your trips and stuff. So you can not only do dining. I mean, you can separate. You can find accommodations. You can find attractions. You can find transportation. So it's really a pretty fantastic.
Yeah, if you've ever been on call, after hours on call for any tour company, and you have a tour emergency and you need to find a place for them to eat dinner, this thing has been a godsend this year for me. I've used it like 4 times. It's awesome.
That is fantastic.
Right. And you can zoom in too, right? Like you can zoom into an area of Cleveland. I mean, like, and be very, very specific, like where you might be before that or where you are now. If you need an emergency, what's closest to you. That's that's a cool feature.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and let's move on to Keith. So Keith, what would you say is one of your favorites?
Well, I echo that there's been a lot of them this year. The progress that has been made has been amazing by the entire team, and thanks to all of our members who have given us the feedback to make that progress. But I'm gonna stick with the supplier stuff too. Sierra's got to be happy. She's like, all these supplier things. One of my favorite things that I think is a huge game changer for GTO is the fact that in Sales Manager, if you pick a product and a price for something and it says that it's outdated, in other words, it's a year old, and it's, it adds the extra funding on there so that you are buffered a little bit. And then a week from now, Sierra's team gets the new price from the supplier finally, because they've been begging them for who knows how many weeks to try to get it. And they put it into GTO. It alerts you right on the main page of your proposal that says you can update this price because there's a price available. So the system knows to tell you, you have an old price, there's a better one available. Do you want to update it? And with one click of a button, you can change it. That feature is huge to me because from an information standpoint, it gives you everything you need right at your fingertips to make sure your pricing is accurate. So it's awesome. So I love that feature. And it's on the right-hand side of the whole chart, right on your proposal. Can't miss it. It's awesome.
And it's kind of great for people who use templates as well, because they can go through there very quickly and run down that list and see what prices need to be changed before they send that proposal out. So that's fantastic.
Great for templates. And then also when you're on your activity, your add activities page, because of that, you can also see at the top how many prices are what they call invalid prices. In other words, prices that are out of date. And with one click, you can get a full list for that trip of everything that's out of date. So the ease of use of that feature is just incredible. It's really great.
Fantastic.
And very timely for right now as a lot of things expire here now at the end of the year and we get new pricing in for 2023. Everybody's got those 2023 trips up and all those templates that they need to update. It's very timely for right now.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day when I saw it on one of the trips that it's actually very telling when you look down a list as to which suppliers get their pricing out early and which ones don't. Because it just shows you right there in front of your face, like everything is, all of these are fine, but this one is not. So it's great. Yeah.
Well, it's also interesting because, you know, a lot of suppliers are rebuilding their teams and their sales teams, and so some of them do not have the experience that we might be used to from previous years. So just to know when it's timely for them to get information out, a lot of them don't realize it. So you know, this is very helpful. It's very helpful. So
yeah, it's a new learning curve for everybody.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna let you know what my favorite part is. I loved when we created the new cost sheet in Sales Manager. So I'm gonna go into Sales Manager. I'll show you real quick too, of course, because I'm a visual person. So as it's show and tell for me, and I'm the show person. So let me go in to Sales Manager. And if you are on that sheet, if you're on the trip sheet and you're in a proposal, you will see that there's a cost sheet. If you click on the cost sheet, it brings up a breakdown of everything per person. So anything that you have on this trip, whether it's a supplier, it'll list your suppliers per person total cost by day. Not only does it do that, but it will also list your tour directors and your motor coach information. It lists your hotel information, air if you want, if you have air on your trip. It also lists all your calculations that operators may need. If your margins, if you need to know those, it will let you know your total costs for ground transportation. It'll separate it out by the type of item that you have there. As well as that, it lists your hotel costs. So it lists the single, double, triple, quads, whatever you have listed. And it not only does that, it will tell you your per person expenses, and it will also tell you your per person margins. So it will bring all of that information to your fingertips. So for tour operators, for sales coordinators, for salespeople that are constantly trying to take a look at where they are within the budget of the trip, this is hugely helpful. And there's a place on the bottom, even you can edit the cost sheet as you get your participants registered and you know what the numbers are. You can go ahead and fill this information in, and it would constantly update it for you. So that is, to me, one of the biggies that we had. And again, this was developed basically because of your feedback. We had a couple of operators that were like, we really are looking for a cost sheet that just kind of breaks it down simply, you know, so they can have these lists of items. And so I enjoy that one personally.
I like it too.
Oh, thanks. Woo, it's not just me. Kira, what is your discussion today? What is your favorite thing that you want to hear?
Well, my favorite is the introduction to Coach and Go. I laugh every time. I always forget about it. It's a great surprise.
Lovely Stevie G.
No, I have to say that just the community that we're building, and I say that in multiple respects because, you know, our goal as a team really, as Group Travel Odyssey is to elevate group travel. And this community that we're building via our members and our supplier manager is kind of unheard of in the industry. So I like being on the forefront of it. And just to elaborate on that, in this calendar year, I have fielded 1,341 supplier help desks. What that means is that we have a lot of suppliers already in our system. We have a lot that are being requested to be added. We have a lot of tour operators that are going to destinations that we haven't had in Group Travel Odyssey before. So we're really, really building out that community of suppliers from our member requests, which is amazing. And in a little over 2 years that I have been on the team, we went from under 3,000 suppliers in our supplier manager to today, earlier, 11,121 active suppliers. And when I looked at it this morning, it was 19. When I looked at it a little bit ago, it goes up every single day. And again, that's from our members, that's from our CVB partners, when we're putting in these template trips and working with the CVBs to get group dining and attractions and hotels. That's coming from My Guru team's research. That's coming from, hey, from our members, we're going to this destination. What can you get for me? So this community that we're building is really, nothing that can be touched right now from any other company.
Yeah, it is a really robust database of suppliers, of group suppliers, group friendly suppliers. And that is something that doesn't exist out there. And the fact that you and your team are the ones who are updating all of that information and making sure that the pricing and the products are current for all of our users, that is, like you said, there's nothing else out there that will allow that to happen. And it's at their fingertips, so they can add it directly to their trips right from the system. So that's amazing. Kudos to you and your team, Sierra. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
And Corey, what would you say is your favorite?
Well, before I tell you my favorite, I have to say, when we decided we were going to do this, I thought, oh, it's one of those cool clip shows like TV shows have, where they have one where they don't have any new plot. They just show clips of different things in some sort of format. And then I thought, those are terrible. And so I thought, I don't want that. But then I realized instead we're the cool behind the scenes bonus feature that you get on streaming instead, where they talk to the cast. And so that's what we're doing here today. And I think that's great because we get a chance for everyone to sort of tell them what their favorite features are. And for me, it's the tour director portal. And we just did that as a coach and go. So I know everyone watching this show right now has been there and seen it. And if you haven't, you've missed a good show. So go back and check it out. And in fact, we're just about to send out the instructions for tour operators to send to their tour directors. So now the tour directors can get the information that they've so diligently put into the system so that they can have. Which is super exciting. But I really think that's a game changer because and when I was thinking back, like I was listening to Christina talk about audits, and I can hear the accounting people and all the members that we've talked to talk about how long it takes them to go through this audit process, right? And I'm thinking, why does it? And then they told me why, and I watched Christina build this, and I'm like, well, that's why. And now we've solved that problem. So great, right? And I remember the fact that when I first started working in GTO, before it was even called GTO, it was like sales manager and supplier manager, and that's it, right? And over the years, we've added all this really cool stuff. But the game changer for me is tour directors, because doing a little tour directing every now and then myself, I get these emails with these packet of information that someone had gone to first. They printed out the information, then scanned the information, then attached it to an email and sent it to me. And I thought, that was super nice. Thank you very much. And then I kept getting like 3 or 4 more emails with additions or changes, or every time there was an update. And I thought, wow, someone is spending a lot of time doing this. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. And the tour director portal is like that way, because any changes you make, any additions you make are going to be made instantaneous and live. And you can go in there and look at them. You don't have to create those emails that say attached are all the contracts and rooming lists and all this kind of stuff. And then, you know what? At the last minute, this is my favorite one. At the last minute, somebody's not going and somebody's coming in their place, and they send you a brand new packet. And I think, no, we can have it another way. So that's why it's a game changer for me. Is it should save operations so much time having to deal with that, or whoever's dealing with tour directors. I know that Kara's had some experience with tour directors and dealing with that, and hopefully, I think it got her stamp of approval, and so that works for me, right? Am I right? Or
I was once that girl. I was once that girl putting together those. I would drop them into a PDF file and attach them to an email, and then things would update, and you'd be like, I'd send an email, revision to this contract, or revision student count change, things like that. So yes, I really like the On the Road app. That was actually one of my I wasn't sure which one to talk about topics.
It's funny because if you think about the things that all 6 of us have shared from a game changer standpoint, they all tie to time saved. And I'm going to put a caveat on that, because you can't just say time saved and not be honest about it if you're keeping up with information in the system.
Right.
So there's that little asterisk at the top. We all have a responsibility there. But like, if you are keeping up with the information as the process goes along, at the end, the finishing of it, whether it's the audit or the tour director packet, at the beginning, the finding, Sierra and Kara talked about finding suppliers, mine's about keeping them updated. All of those things should be a click of a button now, instead of the hours that you would spend copying or scanning, or in Christina's case with the audits, the hours you would spend going through receipts to make sure that you accounted for, or looking at, the accounting system versus what you had booked, and blah, 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 making all of that, and then entering it manually onto a spreadsheet and then letting it do its math. Yes, the hours that it should save. It's efficiency. Like, there's a common thread of efficiency all the way through there, which is great.
And also, I think it gives, we talk about how we get the feedback from our member companies, and a lot of this creates a list of things for us to be working on in development. It goes to show that you don't need to be afraid of technology. For those people who have been so hesitant about using a system, or are still hesitant about using a system, you don't need to be afraid of it. We're here to help out. And as you can see, when you give us information or ask for information, we work behind the scenes to make it happen. We work behind the scenes to let you know if it is possible. And then if it is possible, we put it in place. So that way, again, you have that much more efficiency as you're working in the system, saving you more time, allowing you to go court new business and build your business. So that's ultimately what we're here for. We want to make your business efficient and bigger. If you want to have a bigger business, if you want to court more business, then by all means, we'll give you the time to do that. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate this. This will be our last live Coach and Go for this year, probably, because as I said today in our email that we sent out, it's December. It's hard to believe that we're at the end of the year already, and very, very quickly we're coming up on 2023. We'll be seeing a lot of you at a lot of different trade shows that are coming up. So we look forward to doing that. Also, we will be on Thursday. Keith and myself and Stevie G will be joining us. We're going to be doing part 1 of a very special Destination Dispatch. We're going to be road tripping. We're basically going to recap some of the really amazing destinations that we featured on Destination Dispatch. And again, Destination Dispatch is on Thursdays at 2:00. So this Thursday at 2:00 Eastern time, join us for part 1 of road tripping, and we will be taking you to some really great destinations and recapping some of the really fantastic places for you to take your groups. That will be this Thursday, and then next Thursday will be part 2. So make sure to join us for that. Next week, we will be having a GTO fast break. And again, those are found on our community forum. For our members out there, click on Community Forum and you can search for the fast break. And it's a very quick video that will give you a snippet of information about something that we've been working on, something new, something we feel that you should be able to see within the system, so that way you can start using it as well. So again, thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on LinkedIn as well. And we will see you very, very soon. And again, thanks for joining us. And thank you to the entire GTO team as well for joining us for this special episode of Coach and Go. Thanks a lot. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of GTO Coach and Go. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And be sure to check out more of our media, including Destination Dispatch and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.